Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a classic motivational fable that basically unpacks the actual mechanics of human effort. We're going to systematically break down this really simple story because honestly, it reveals some incredibly deep truths about mindset, persistence, and how we approach our daily grind.
So, what separates true success from bitter regret? Wow, it's a heavy question, right? But today's source material answers this exactly, and it does it through a surprisingly simple yet profoundly deep story about a farmer and his two very different pets.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Part 1, The Farmer's Hidden Carrot.
So our story kicks off in a village with a farmer. Now he already had this thriving little business raising buffaloes and selling their milk to keep his household running. But, he had a real soft spot for animals. So one day, he decides to adopt two brand new pets to join the farm, a rabbit and a monkey. And as we're about to see, these two creatures absolutely couldn't be more different in their attitudes. After a bit of time goes by, the farmer decides he wants to play a little game with his new pets. First, he digs a bunch of small holes all across his field. Second, he covers them back up with loose dirt. And third, and this is the crucial step, he hides a single carrot in just one of those holes. Then he turns to the rabbit and the monkey and tasks them with finding it. That hidden carrot, that's the ultimate goal.
Moving on to Part 2, Confidence versus Laziness.
Right out of the gate, we see a massive contrast in their mindsets. On one hand, we've got the rabbit. He's highly confident, totally full of self-belief, and just immediately ready to start digging. On the other hand, well, we have the monkey. The source material actually describes him as negative and lazy. He looked out at the field, saw the sheer volume of all those dirt mounds, and thought, man, there are so many holes. Who on earth is going to search through all of this? He quite literally mentally defeated himself before he even lifted his single finger.
The rabbit, though, he doesn't let the sheer scale of the task get to him. He just gets right to work. He starts digging up the holes, one by one by one. He searches relentlessly, keeping this incredibly positive mindset and this unwavering faith that if he just keeps moving forward step by step, he's eventually going to find that prize.
But the monkey, well, his negativity leads straight to total inaction. He just gives up immediately. And here is where the story gets super interesting. Instead of helping out, or, even just wandering off, the monkey decides to take a nap. And of all places, he chooses to lie down and go to sleep right on top of one of those freshly covered dirt holes.
Which brings us to Part 3, the surprising reveal.
All right, so the rabbit has been working tirelessly. He has checked literally every single hole in the entire field, one by one, and found absolutely nothing. There's only one left. And yep, it perfectly encapsulates the ultimate irony of missed opportunities. It's the exact hole the monkey is currently using as a mattress. Just let that sink in for a second. So, the rabbit marches over, taps the monkey, and politely asks him to move aside. The lazy monkey gets up, the rabbit immediately digs into that final pile of dirt, and boom, he pulls out the hidden carrot. His step-by-step persistence completely paid off. He triumphantly takes the prize and presents it right to the farmer.
And what about the monkey? The source tells us he's just left standing there in total shock. He realizes, and I quote, "If I had just dug the hole I was sleeping on, I would have found the carrot and become great in the master's eyes." That perfectly captures the agonizing sting of bitter regret, doesn't it? He suddenly realizes that success was literally right underneath him the whole time, but his own negative mindset entirely blinded him to it.
And that leads us to Part 4, 3 Pillars of Success. So transitioning out of the fable itself, the source material lays out 3 core takeaways for us. Number 1, avoid negativity. Number 2, make an effort. And number 3, never give up. These 3 takeaways are the absolute crucial points of today's explainer, and we're going to look at how each one applies to the story and, honestly, more importantly, to our own lives.
First up, avoiding negativity. The really crucial point here is exactly how we define negativity in this context. We aren't just talking about feeling sad. It's the act of overcomplicating a task in your own mind to the point of total inaction. It's exactly like the monkey looking at all those holes and telling himself, it's too much, it's totally impossible. The task itself wasn't impossible, but his negative framing made it impossible for him to even start. Now for Lesson 2, which I personally think is absolutely brilliant. Luck only favors those who at least try. Think back to our story for a second. The monkey was actually incredibly lucky. Out of all the holes in that giant field, he happened to lie down on the exact one containing the prize. But because he wouldn't put in the absolute bare minimum effort to just dig the dirt directly beneath him, his luck was entirely wasted. Effort is the mandatory entry fee for luck to strike. And finally, lesson 3, never give up. The source beautifully points out that, hey, none of us have a crystal ball for our own goals. Consider the timeline of success. We don't know exactly when our big breakthrough is going to happen. Success could arrive in 2025, maybe it takes until 2030, or hey, even 2032. The rabbit had no idea the carrot was in the very last hole. He just kept digging. Persistent effort is absolutely required simply because the timeline of success is always hidden from us.
So, bringing all of these lessons together, success is the ultimate combination of positive thinking and persistent effort. You have to truly believe the carrot is out there somewhere, and you have to be willing to dig up every single hole to find it. Because as the monkey learned the hard way, giving up early is literally the only guaranteed way to fail. Which leaves us with this final, really important thought. Are you diligently digging your holes today, or are you simply sleeping right on top of them? Look, we all have goals we want to achieve and amazing opportunities right under our noses. Please, don't let the sheer number of holes in the field paralyze you. Just start digging. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you take these 3 pillars of success with you into whatever field you're digging in today.